Hello, my name is William from Pomona Courthouse. Assuming that John Doe is the litigant, let me guide you through the FL-105 UCCJEA form. I want to bring to your attention that I will approach this form for general cases. If you believe your case to be atypical, please visit one of the self-help centers for assistance. Click here for information about the self-help centers. Okay, let's get started. First, fill out the captions above. If you do not know how to fill out captions, click here. I already pre-filled out my captions for our example John Doe, so let's move on and scroll down. In the middle, here, write how many minor children are involved in this case. For our example, since John Doe has 2 minor children, I wrote 2 in the blank space here. Now for the first part of this form, the court wants a record of where your minor children have lived for the past 5 years. Start with your oldest child and write his or her name in box A. Then, write the city he or she was born in for place of birth, birth date, and male or female. So, for this next part, a lot of people make mistakes, but as long as you keep it simple, it's really not that bad. In a nutshell, the court wants separate lines for when the children have moved locations or when either parent has moved in or out of the house. Let me show you an example to better explain myself. I already pre-filled out information to save time. This line here means that from May 2013 to present, John Doe's oldest child, Johnny Doe, lived at this address and only lived with his dad, John Doe. Since he only lived with his dad, John Doe, we wrote in father here for the relationship box. Underneath, this line means that from January 2013 to May 2013, Johnny lived at the same address. However, Johnny lived with both parents during this period, so we wrote in both John Doe and Jane D. Doe. So therefore in the relationship box, I wrote in father and also mother. Note that although the location here is the same as the location in the line above, we put separate lines because there was a change in the person child lived with box. Up here it's only John Doe, down here it's both John Doe and Jane D. Doe. Every time there is a change in this box, the court wants separate lines. And let's move on. Also note that the start date here carries down to the end date here. So the same rule applies for the other lines, so 113, 113, and 1110, 1110. This line means that from November 2010 to January 2013, Johnny lived at this address. Note that in cases where you don't remember the full address, write it to the best of your ability. Again, both parents lived together with Johnny during this period, so John Doe and Jane D. Doe. So we also wrote father and mother. Underneath, this line here means that from birth, July 1st, 2009 to November 2010, Johnny lived at this address. However, note that he lived only with his mother, so Jane D. Doe here. So I only put mother in the relationship box. Now I want to point out that if the child is more than 5 years old, you only need to go back 5 years. So the first starting date will be 5 years from today. If you need more lines, click here to get the proper attachment sheet, or visit one of the self-help centers for further assistance. Down here for B, I did the same thing for John Doe's second child, but for only the first line. So we went ahead and wrote her name, Janie Elsa Doe, the city she was born in, her birth date, F for female. Now, the reason why we put the oldest child up first is because down here, If all the children have lived together at the same locations throughout the years, we just need to check this box right here, and leave the rest of the lines blank. This box means that the residence information is the same as the child above, and saves us the trouble of filling out the rest of the lines for the second child. If you have more children to list, click here to get the proper attachment sheet. For the additional children, if they also live in the same locations as the first and second child, then you only need to fill out the first line and check the box just like we did for the second child. Congratulations! You have just finished the first page of the FL-105 UCCJEA form. Please proceed to the FL-105 UCCJEA Part 2 video.